Hey guys, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Fabian, for a great session. I loved it. Psychedelics for all. Hi, Abhishek. Okay, thank you so much for joining my session. I prepared this session. It's for 10x in your mood. So it's kind of continuation of the previous session, if you will, and it was not intended like this, but here we are. So exponential mood. Who am I and what makes me an expert? Well, you can see for yourself that, okay, I'm a financer and this and that, but what makes me an expert is that I've lived through decades of terrible, terrible mood. And so I really had to turn around and actively learn how to manage my mood because at some point I just became fed up with it. And also I couldn't drink that much anymore. Okay, before we start, I'd like to ask you to do a gratitude exercise, please. So let's just count our blessings and just say to yourself what you're grateful for, and please share in the chat. I am very grateful for you guys to join my session and 10x your mood with me. I also want to propose a grounding exercise. Fabian is grateful for open ExO. Yes, we all are. Client feedback this morning. Oh, that's wonderful. Congrats, Valerie. Awesome. Okay, the next thing I'd like us to do is grounding. And those of you who are used to grounding practice know that actually it improves presence, and so it increases charisma automatically. So it's a really great little trick to, you know, just boost your mood, boost your presence, boost your charisma whenever you need it. Okay, so actually I will show you two tricks for this. First is just put your awareness just behind your eyes. And that's actually all you have to do. And when you speak to somebody, imagine that you're speaking from that place behind your eyes. And you will see how that grounds you and also boosts your presence. It's a really, really wonderful hack. And the grounding exercise I wanted to propose is just if you close your eyes for a second and imagine that there is a red beam of light going from the bottom of your torso and also two red beams of light going from each of your feet, and they combine together in one big red beam of light, and they go through all the stairs if you're up somewhere or just directly to the ground, past all kinds of pebbles, little rivers, roots, and so on, and go all the way very close to the center of the earth until they find this huge, massive, massive balloon. And the red beam of light turns and wraps itself around this balloon so that it gets really, really secure, like wraps it like a gift. And once it's done, it shoots back into your body, carrying all the love of the earth, its patience, its peace, and support. And once you're done, you can close, open your eyes, and we're ready to start the session. I'd like to invite you to set intention for the session. My intention is to share all the tools and enthusiasm I accumulated over the years for mood management. What's your intention? Fabian is grateful for family empowerment and quality time during the pandemic time. Oh yeah, I think honestly, this is probably like once in a lifetime opportunity that we've had. It's been really a blessing. Okay, all right. So what is exponential mood? Who has their own example to share? What is exponential mood to you? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What is it? I mean, for me, you can see on this board, right? For me, exponential mood is when I feel inspired, when I feel truly, genuinely enthusiastic, when I feel confident, grounded, grateful. I love feeling grateful because when I feel grateful, I actually cannot feel any other way. So it really works for me. Peaceful, happy. For Valerie, it's feeling connected and calm. That's brilliant. Yes, because when we are connected, then everything falls into place. And for Abhishek is smiling. Oh yeah, no, smiling is a huge one. It's like top secret of a good mood. So team's intention is to learn as much about exponential mood as possible. You're in the right place. Perfect. So for Fabian connection is when it's triggering even more of the sensations. That's absolutely accurate. That's exactly what it is. It kind of becomes a virtuous circle or spiral, if you will, right? What is the challenge with all of these beautiful, beautiful feelings and beautiful moods? What's the challenge? Well, because that's not how we feel most of the time. How do we feel most of the time, at least during the pandemic? What I've been hearing increasingly and borderline alarmingly so about the mood is this, you know, that, okay, I'm feeling grumpy, I'm feeling worried, depressive, I've become very short fused, or, you know, I personally felt self-righteous and blaming other people for whatever I was feeling, or feeling down, or feeling on a roller coaster. And granted that the pandemic has only brought to the surface whatever we were already experiencing, but it was successfully being suppressed by the normal life. And now we've just become really confronted with it face to face, to the point when, like I said before, no amount of alcohol can help. And alcohol is magical if you can handle it. So what if I told you that all these terrible, uncomfortable moods were just a symptom of growth? What if you feeling cranky or grumpy or annoyed or angry or upset, disappointed, was a symptom of growth? What if I told you that all that means is that you are growing? Why? Because if you think about it, it makes perfect sense. Growth is painful and it's uncomfortable and it's very confusing, because all of this life thing, it does not come with a guide manual, doesn't it? And if you think your teenage kid or your teenage self, that will become very obvious, no? Because they're going through such intense growth phase that, you know, they're cranky and grumpy and rebellious all the time, and it's very painful to be around them. But we know what's going on with them because we've been through this. So we just say, okay, they're just being teenage kids. It's okay, it will pass. But, you know, we are supposed to have it together somehow, because, you know, the only changing we do physically, at least, is growing old. But since you're here, I know that you are growing. Your spirit is still growing. Your mind is growing. You're growing professionally. You're growing mentally, spiritually, and physically still, I hope, if you're going to the gym regularly. So how does it make you feel when you know that all this grumpiness and crankiness is just a symptom of growth? How does it make you feel? Anna is saying peaceful, but I am guessing that's an answer to your previous question. Didn't you feel an immediate relief and kind of increased compassion for yourself once you know that, you know, when I'm being an a-hole to somebody, all it is just, you know, I'm growing too fast. I'm growing too fast. And if you think about it, like when a snake is shedding its skin when it's growing, it's a very painful process. I don't know if you knew this. And sometimes even pieces of skin, of flesh, come off with that old skin. So actually a snake is suffering quite a lot, and it becomes super duper vulnerable during the process. The same with us. We're also animals, right? So so what we can do when we feel all those terrible feelings, we can just tell ourselves that, hey, it's okay. I am just growing. And then you can just give yourself a break and know that everything's going to be okay. You're just in a process of growth. And once you become aware of your mood and you realize, okay, yes, I'm feeling grumpy, I must be grown, it's okay. So now it's time to shift that mood, right? Because no mood, no EXO. So we've already started brainstorming about all these different ways to shift your mood. This is how I am shifting my mood. So for sure, I smile. That's honestly the bestest ever tool to shift your mood immediately. And you know what? If you feel so bad, and I know I do sometimes, that I cannot smile at all. You probably read or heard about this trick that Amy Cuddy popularized. She said, if you cannot smile, just hold a pencil or a pen in your mouth like this, and you hold it for a minute or two or three, however long you can handle it. And then a miracle will happen, because for a brain, it doesn't matter whether you're smiling for real or you're just faking the smile. Still, the muscles will send the impulses to your brain, and it will generate serotonin, which is the happiness hormones, or endorphins rather. So that's my favorite. Another one is just take 10 deep breaths. You know, before I used to really dismiss this one, because I thought, okay, you know what, like, just give me a break. Like if I take 10 deep breaths, like it's never going to change my situation, which is tragic. But you know what, since I've started actually practicing it, I've noticed that it does work. It even works after 7 breaths. So it's kind of easy to dismiss because it's so simple, but it's very powerful. Another one of my favorites is to help somebody. That's a really most effective one, because when I help somebody, I get out of myself, I get out of my ego, and I focus on somebody else. And especially if I'm doing something for them, what I'm an expert at, it's kind of like a double impact, because I'm helping them, and also I boost my own confidence. So I highly recommend this one. And of course, you know, just playing my favorite tune. And for me, that's Trolls, you know, like that one, Don't Stop the Feeling. I'm terrible at singing. But anyway, so, or sing, or dance, you know, just bust out a move or two. As Fabian was suggesting previously in the previous session. say an affirmation or a prayer, whatever suits your belief system. I do both. And, you know, I'm not even a religious person, but if I am in a terrible mood, everything goes. My goal is just shift that mood. If a prayer is going to help it, so be it. If any of those don't work, I take 15 minutes off and I just either take a walk, I call somebody I love, or I put on a meditation or visualization, any of those things. What do you do? What is your favorite or go-to for shifting your mood? Playing songs, right? Yeah, music is so powerful. Music is like a language of the soul. Meditate, yeah. If you can meditate, that's obviously is amazing. But that's a mastery level. Cuddling with my kids, yeah, I hear you. Juggling and hula hooping, wow. That's awesome, that's amazing. Yeah, I hear you, Valerie. I have to go to a happy thought. Yeah, can you give an example? Like, what kind of happy thought does it for you? Do you just say it like a mantra, you know, like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, and you magically become happy? Or do you recall an experience? Share powerful jokes and laugh out loud. Yeah, actually, that's another method. Like, okay, who has the absolutely dorkiest way to shift your mood? Like, we can have a contest. Whose is the dorkiest? I bet I win. Tim imagines himself on a holiday in the sun. That's a happy thought. So you recall an experience. So basically, you're visualizing. That's very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so my dorkiest way to shift my mood is fake laughing. Do you guys know about it? Did you know there is a whole therapy method called laughter therapy? Laughter therapy. When I heard that the first time, like, I honestly thought that the person was just kidding me. But yes, there is laughter therapy, and they do fake laughing until people start laughing. I'll demo it for you, and you will start, like, you don't even have to fake laugh after this. Okay, let me show you. Ha 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 ha. Did you see that? Anybody who wants to do it live with me? Do some fake laughing. Ha 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 ha. I'm telling you, it's the dorkiest, but also one of the most powerful ways to shift your mood. As long as, like, not so many people are around you. So, like, if you're in a cubicle, it doesn't really work without, like, a detrimental impact on your work image, but it's perfect for the pandemic. The only people you risk scaring is your family, and they should be used to you by now. All right, so if mood that does not serve you is a recurrent challenge, and if you are constantly growing, it very well may be, what we have to do, that's a clear one and an obvious one. Take charge. Remember that you are the boss. You know, I really love this. Mind over matter. Whenever, wherever I found myself in a terrible mood or terrible situation, every time what helped me is just remembering that, you know, my mind decides what surrounds me, mind over matter. And I am in charge of my experience. So how do I manage my mood? Basically, I have 3 steps for this. The first step is set intention. And we already did this, set an intention for the session. And I pretty much do it for every goal I have. I first of all set intention. So it's really, really useful for managing your mood as well. So when I realized and I became aware that I was spending days and weeks and months and years of my life in a terrible mood, I set intention to shift that and to stop that trend. And my intention was to be in a great mood all the time. I felt like it was going to be a waste of my life if I spent it whining, or if I spent brooding, or if I spent being depressed. The second step I do, and this is what I did for myself, is examine my limiting beliefs. What in my belief system is validating and giving realness to all these terrible moods. And then I replace those limiting beliefs with conscious, constructive, positive beliefs. And what helped me make this work throughout the process is observing myself. That was really powerful. So to set an intention, let's set intention right now, because what the heck, it doesn't worth a minute of our lives to be in a mood that's less than exponential, less than excellent, less than inspired. What is your intention? What do you want your mood to be? How do you want to live your life? Let's set intention right now. Since you're in the session, we might as well do it. Here's a cheat sheet for you. Anybody? I'm assuming you guys are slow writers, slow typers. I want to start every day in a joyful state. Wonderful. That's a great intention. Just make sure you really put all of you in that intention. Intention is such a powerful practice. It's really impossible to underestimate it. The trick behind this is that you don't just say to yourself, I want to be in a good mood all the time. No, you have to really, really be like, I want to be in a good mood all the time. I want to feel energized. I'm just kidding. I want to start every day in a joyful state. That feels very flowy. I love feeling joyful. And that was one of my target moods. When I decided to turn my mood situation around, I told myself, I want to be joyful. I want to enjoy my life, for God's sake. It's hard enough. I might as well. I've earned it. Anna, what's your intention for your mood? All right. While you guys are sharing your intentions, here's a side note. You see, to change your mood, you have to be aware of your mood, right? You can't really change, and I'm sure you know those people who are angry, but when you tell them, well, hon, you don't really have to be that angry, and they're like, what? I'm not angry. You know those people, right? So they just don't catch themselves. And to catch yourself, you have to really commit to becoming an observer of yourself. and you have to measure. So you have to ask yourself throughout the day, what mood am I in? You have to journal it. Keep mood calendar. That would really, really, really help me to catch myself, was keeping mood calendar. This is true story. Yes, I just felt like, okay, maybe I'm an introvert, maybe I'm melancholic, whatever it is, but it didn't really become a wake-up call until I started mark every day when I was either cranky or grumpy or sad, blue, depressive, anxious, panicky, whatever it was. And then maybe like 5-6 weeks later, I looked back at my calendar and I marked each such day pink. And guys, my calendar was like 70-80% pink. And when I saw the pinkness, it's like, oh boy, this stops now. And so it really, really helps. But very importantly, observe without giving a judgment. So just observe. Oh, Anna. Anna's intention is to live on an island 365 days a year, sunny and salty days. Well, my intention for you, Anna, is that you actually live your intention, not just feel like it. All right, so please remember, this is a super, super duper important hack to good management, effective mood management, observing yourself. Now, on to limiting beliefs. Please share, if you're aware, like what your limiting beliefs are. Mine are on the screen. I'm not worthy. This was a big one. And I'm still working on it. And I suspect that this one is going to be a lifetime of work. And most likely I will be working on this even when I'm like 89 or 95, and I will still be saying affirmations and like having it on the screen, like on my screensaver. I am worthy, I am enough. And you know what? It's much better than just succumbing to the feelings of I'm not worthy, I don't deserve success, I don't deserve happiness, I'm not talented to do this, or I'm not talented enough, I don't have any talents. For the longest time, I was convinced, and I've been a financer for 15 years at that point, and so I thought that, well, I'm just a numbers person. I simply do not have any creativity whatsoever, and I don't have any talents, and that's why I do finance, which was not even true. I only went into finance because I thought that's how you make the most money. And I loved money. But, it took me decades to actually acknowledge and give myself permission to be talented at something, anything. I will die alone, there was a big one. I'm just naturally anxious or neurotic. I don't know if you got that one or came across that one. Or there was a time period when I was really big on coffee, and I was just saying, I'm just cranky before my first coffee. I'm too serious to be interesting. Actually, I had that one. I used to be very, very serious. And my friend Anna, who's here supporting me, can be witness to it. Way too serious. And you know what? This is just a story we are telling ourselves. This is our belief. And when you hear yourself say this in your mind, try to listen closely. Whose voice is it speaking in? Is it your parents' voice, your teachers, your mentors, your bosses, your lovers? Whose voice is that? We absorb all these beliefs about ourselves. And because we're so young, and because at the time we're dependent on those adults, we're just kind of, we feel like we have to. We have to sign up for those beliefs. But you know what? Here's the benefit of being an adult. We don't have to anymore. And if you still don't feel like you know what your limiting beliefs are, just look around yourself. What does your reality look like? Because what you don't like about your reality, that's your limiting belief. Because we are powerful manifestors of our and creators of our realities, right? So whatever it is we have in our lives, that is exactly what our true intention is, and that is our limiting belief, because it most likely is not even conscious. It just sits somewhere deep in our subconscious and rules our world. Peers at school. Yeah, well, you are no longer at school, so it's pretty safe to let that one go, right? Well, so just now imagine for a moment, and for the biggest intensity of this exercise, I invite you to close your eyes. I actually witnessed, and I did this exercise in Tony Robbins' seminar. It was Unleash Your Power, I believe it was called. And so just close your eyes for a moment and start playing your most powerful limiting self-beliefs like a broken record. I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not talented, I'm too serious, I am not a morning person, I am not worthy, I am not powerful, I am helpless, I cannot do anything, I don't have talents, nobody will love me, I don't deserve success. Whatever it is, just keep playing it, keep playing it, keep playing it. How do you guys feel? How does it make you feel? I bet you're not great, right? It's a downer, right? Well, now imagine it's 5 years from now. It's the year 2025. And you are still entrapped by these limiting beliefs. And you are still believe in them and keep playing them like a broken record. I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not talented, I'm too serious, I'm too emotional, I'm not a morning person, I don't deserve happiness, I don't deserve this, I don't deserve that. Keep playing it on the record. It gets worse, right? You feel worse. Okay, now imagine it's the year 2030, it's been 10 years, and you are still ruled by these limiting beliefs. I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I don't deserve success, I'm not talented, I'm too serious, I'm too emotional, I'm too short. And now, for the last time, imagine that it's year 2040. It's been 20 years of your life, and still these limiting beliefs are ruling your life. Just give that scenario a chance for a moment and imagine how you feel, and keep playing those beliefs in your mind. And you can even say it out loud if you can. Keep saying your beliefs, limiting beliefs. I'm not worthy, I'm not enough, I'm not talented, I'm too emotional, I'm too serious, I don't deserve happiness, I'm not talented enough to do this. How does it feel? Do you feel like you want to let these limiting beliefs rule your life? Open your eyes. What do you guys think? Absolutely not, is it? How do you guys want to feel? Are you guys still with me? I don't know if you are, if you're not chatting. How do you want to feel? Like this, right? Inspired, enthusiastic, confident, peaceful, grateful, happy, excited, joyful, fulfilled, generous, caring, flowing, impactful. all of this. Thank you, Aneta. Thank you for joining. I hope you stay a bit longer. So now I actually have a really phenomenal exercise for you guys to practice if you're up for it. This exercise is called emotional freedom technique. If anybody heard of it before? Thank you, Vanessa. Great to see you. Please stay on. I'm hopefully, if the group is up for it, I'm just about to do a really awesome exercise. This emotional freedom technique. Emotional freedom technique is very popular in therapy, and it's also called like emotional emotional acupuncture. And it's basically about tapping on your like active meridian points, like here, 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 and kind of like resetting your nervous system to rewrite, kind of replace those old limiting beliefs with new conscious and constructive beliefs that serve you, that serve your agenda now. So please let me know in the chat if you want to do it. It takes maybe like 3-4 minutes, no longer. But if we do it, then it will with you will be available to you at any time, because you can make up your own text for it and just say whatever it is that you need to say to yourself right now. Okay, so I'm gonna demo it and demo the points. So we start here. It's basically like on the edge of your palm, and just tap lightly with your fingers here. Then we start here, like on the crown of your head. Then here, above your brow by the nose, on the outer side of your brow, over here, below your eye, here, above your lip, and also on the chin, below your lip. And then we move to the chest. So it's like right here, whatever that is called, then a little bit sidewise over here. And then you tap on the point like, whatchamacallit, like basically like the point, it's like a sensitive point, like where the arm connects to your torso, okay? All right, so are you ready? You will just tap and repeat after me. Okay, I'm gonna make myself a bit bigger. Okay, ready? Let's go. Even though I'm often in a bad mood, I unconditionally oh, wait a second, guys, wait a second. Before we do this, we have to measure it. On a scale from 1 to 10, measure what kind of mood you're in right now. And if you want, share in the chat. So 1 being terrible mood, and 10 is being exponential, awesome, like the best mood you've ever been in. On a scale from 1 to 10. Okay? Just, if you're not typing, just take a mental note. Okay, so I am a 7. Or, maybe you're an 8. Or 10, yay. Okay, so here we go. Even though I'm often in a bad mood, I unconditionally love and accept myself. Even though I'm often in a bad mood, I unconditionally love and accept myself. Even though I am often in a bad mood, I unconditionally love and accept myself. I am often in a bad mood. I get cranky, irritable, and I get easily annoyed. I wake up tired, grumpy, or stressed, or anxious and worried. I muddle through my day, trying to keep it together. But everything feels like a chore, like a burden. I cannot enjoy the fruits of my success, my relationships. I feel like a fraud. I feel like I cannot accomplish anything, like I don't have time for everything I planned. I feel worthless. I really, really hate feeling perpetually down. Sometimes I feel like I cannot even remember what a genuinely joyful, phenomenally good mood feels like. It makes me feel desperate and helpless, sad and lonely. If only I could shift my mood. If only I could wake up energized, thrilled about a very simple fact that the sun has come out, or that the rain has been watering the plants and nurturing everything that's alive. If only I could wake up feeling refreshed, enthusiastic about my day, and excited about it. Do a lovely, empowering morning routine, which makes me feel centered and grounded, feeling worthy and capable. Oh, how many impactful things I could accomplish, how much difference I could make. I already envision all the purposeful projects I would do in such an inspired mood. Doing all those projects would make me feel even more powerful, fulfilled, joyous, and happy. I would share all of that overflow of love in my personal relationships. My relationships flourish. All that love and fulfillment makes me feel very joyous, grateful, and inspired. I'm so excited to be me. And I want to spread this joy, joy of being me, joy of accomplishment. I want to be generous and caring person and help those less fortunate. And I keep sharing my blessings. And the more I share, the more blessed I feel. I feel empowered. I feel joyous. I feel enthusiastic. I feel exponential. And so it is. So it is. So it is. What do you guys think? And measure yourself right now on a scale from 1 to 10 and see how you feel right now. 7, 7, 6. So we were starting from a really, really solid base there. Let's see if this exercise made any difference whatsoever. Still 7 by close to 8. Yay. How did you like this exercise? It's a very, very powerful exercise. And you guys can use it for anything. Any kind of phobia, fear. If you need to visualize your important meeting going great, you can just Google ETF, or no, ETF is a financial instrument. EFT, emotional freedom technique. Seven and a half. Yes, it's a really, really great tool. I love it. It feels weird. Yeah, because you know why it feels weird? Because it's new agey maybe, right? That's what it can associate with, because it's tapping on meridians, it's saying all these affirmations, but you know what? It actually does work. And if you can't find a text that resonates with you, that is your truth, it will do wonders for you. Oh, Valerie got stuck in the initial negative thoughts, felt weird to express them aloud while tapping. And so you're still stuck in it, huh? Okay, why don't you just go in that place behind your eyes right now and say all the beautiful, nice thoughts about your mood that we were saying before? I highly recommend you fake laugh. And if you want a fake laugh for all of us, I would be grateful for you to demo it and share that with us in a live session. Ha 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 ha. Feared it. Yeah. Anchoring them. So you felt like it was it was gonna get you stuck in that. Yeah. And what we fear is what we get, right? And that's the reality of life. So the idea is that you actually work through it and you confront it and you just tap it away. And I highly recommend it. So if you message me after the session, I'd be happy to either do it with you again and see how you feel, or you know, we figure it out. It's called emotional freedom technique. Look it up. Okay. So so did anybody like it? It's such a powerful technique and I always have amazing results with it. All right, how about we discuss the new conscious beliefs that we want to cultivate and that we want to live by consciously in our lives. What would be those for you? For me, a big one was that I control my mood. My mood does not control me. I am the boss here. So I will decide the kind of mood I am in. And I'm strong. I use that one when I work out. I mean, when I work out during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I just went to Barry's boot camp, if anybody knows. And there, hey, no affirmation or mantra will help you. You just have to be strong. Anna has been doing it for years and it's a great technique. It is. I love it. There's a bunch of Udemy courses on it. Yeah. But you know what, Tim? You don't even need a course. You just got it. You have all you need to know about emotional freedom technique. That's all to it. Okay, what are other conscious, what are your conscious beliefs that you want to implant in your subconscious? Like so deep that like there is no chance any of your like subconscious limiting beliefs can sneak in there. They're like, you know, what do they call that firmware? I think like the first layer of software on the hardware, I think it's called firmware or something like that. And so that's how deep you want to embed this new conscious beliefs. The one I love is my success is inevitable. And you know what? It may sound silly, but when I say it to myself, especially out loud, something shifts. I swear. I love myself and I respect myself. That's a big one for me because you know that I used to struggle with feelings unworthiness. I'm worthy of exponential success. Yes, and you're worthy of an exponential mood. What else? Vanessa too. Yes, you are worthy. You are worthy of exponential success. And that's the minimum success that we're willing to settle for, exponential, with exponential mood. Okay, that's great that we know what we want. We know the kind of beliefs we want. But guess what, guys? That these new beliefs will not become your default software on their own. You actually have to work on it. And you will know when you are done. And you should know this by now, right? Like when your reality is congruent with those beliefs. In other words, when you do have that exponential success, that's when you integrated it. And even then, don't stop, keep working. And this is really, really a huge one for me. When I was working on my mood, I realized that it's not enough to just go to a seminar or, you know, play a new beautiful meditation I found, or say an affirmation, or even put it on my screensaver. It's not enough. The only way I found that worked for me was daily practice. So the biggest hack to this mood management is building your own custom mood management toolkit of the things you know work for you. So for example, this emotional freedom technique or affirmations or whatever we were talking about in the beginning, like smiling and fake laughing, especially. I mean, please, please, please include that one into your toolkit. And you have to practice it every day. Incorporate it into your morning routine, put it on your phone, put daily reminders, do it for 5 minutes before you go to bed, before every important meeting. Do it every day. You don't brush your teeth weekly or every once in a while and hope they stay clean, do you? The same with this. You really, really, really have to commit to doing this. And if you were real about your intention to be in exponential mood, to feel connected, if your intention is authentic and real, you will commit to this and you will work on this. And here's other things that can help and will help for sure. Find mentors. And this is also valid for any goal you decide to set for yourself, right? So find mentors, and it's so easy now, online. Just find somebody on Instagram that you aspire to be like, because they're always in amazing mood, at least on Instagram. Build a support group and accountability group. Keep mood calendar. Measurement is the mother of success. And since you are part of the ExO community, you must know this by now. Cultivating sense of self, and that's self-love, self-respect, feeling of self-worth. And that can be a whole separate standalone practice. Those things will help you to always be in that exponential mood. And just imagine for a second how much you can achieve if you're feeling inspired all the time. Isn't it amazing? Like, I was just having like chills going down my arms when I just imagined it for a second. And that brings me to my last point on this slide, and that's train to feel your feelings. And that is so important in my view and in my experience that I actually made it into a separate slide. Train to feel your feelings. Why is feeling your feelings so important? Anybody knows that? Well, it's kind of obvious, right? Like, if you're not in touch with your feelings, if you can't feel your feelings fully, then how the heck are you going to feel that exponential mood? You simply do not have the muscle to feel the exponential mood. So you do need to feel your feelings and work out that feeling muscle. And if you're really the kind of person like I was, completely out of touch with my feelings, like 10 years ago, I suppressed my feelings entirely. I actually believe that, like, I'm not emotional at all and I'm never vulnerable. That was another delusion I had. So for those of you who are like I used to be, you can start small. And here's how you start small. Just grab your phone and feel the surface of your phone. You know, like, how does it feel? It feels like very polished, and the sides feels I don't know, like it feels plasticky. I don't know, is there a feeling? And the back of it feels kind of like rubbery. And when you get into the feeling, you will see how you shift it. And did you see me shift? And that's how you feel your feelings. And this same principle applies to feeling everything from sadness to loneliness, happiness, thrill, enthusiasm, joy, happiness. Everything is done with the same muscle of feeling. A great way to practice and train feeling your feelings is to keep asking yourself. I used to ask myself, how do I feel, like tens of times, dozens of times throughout the day, because I never knew what I was feeling. And I would just be, how do I feel? How do I feel? How do I feel? And then a thought would pop up in my head. And then I would be like, okay, that's a thought. How do I feel? And so I keep digging until I understand. And imagine, it used to be for me that I would have gaps, like a lag between feeling something, like somebody upset me. And like 10 weeks later, I would realize, oh, I was upset when my mom said this and that. And now I can feel my feelings almost in real time. It's a miracle. Only took me 10 years. Okay, so journaling feelings really helps a lot. Speaking and feeling messages, that's a really, really great exercise. Other people may think you're a bit weird. So, don't overdo it. But basically, imagine structuring every dialogue you have in feeling messages. I feel disappointed, or I feel anxious. I feel that you've said this and that to me just now. I feel that Vanessa just typed, awareness is key. Right? That's not a little weird, that's very weird. But practicing these feeling messages, first of all, really is a powerful tool in a confrontation. So when you're feeling attacked by somebody, or when somebody's yelling at you, if you tell them, stop yelling at me, it really doesn't alleviate the pressure and doesn't resolve the conflict. It only escalates the conflict. And if you switch to feeling messages instead by saying, I feel bullied right now, or I feel attacked right now, you're not really judging another person. You're only speaking about yourself, and you take ownership and you take responsibility